Hi everyone, this is Aaron bringing you BZPower's review of LEGO Star Wars Set 75534, Darth Vader, the construction figure. Now, as we know, this is the second Darth Vader construction figure that LEGO has released. The first one was one of those very first construction figures in the Star Wars line. This one, the 2018 version, is taller, more detailed, and has some features that are a little bit different than the original. So I'm going to break down this set, my thoughts on it, some new look at the parts, the features, and all that. Let's get to it. This version of Darth Vader comes with a number of new, recolored, and interesting parts. First of which I want to show off is these standard Star Wars shoulder armor pieces for the first time appearing in gunmetal gray. We get two of those. We get a 5-link chain in silver. We get some of these little water bottle top parts, the round tile with protruding bar, and some of these precious T-bars, which I know many Bionicle builders love to have in black, which is a great color, very unobtrusive. There's also a number of Darth Vader specific parts we get. We get two of these printed utility belt pieces. They are inverses of each other, if you can see that. We also get one printed for the middle with a little belt buckle, like so. We got some textured body parts, the round wraparound shell, and a 5-length shell, 5, in black with this mesh printing and a little bit of texturing added on. Of course, there is the chest plate, which has some Darth Vader specific printing. The underside of the helmet and the main part of the helmet, we'll take a look at these in more depth later. So, a number of cool parts on this model. Here is our finished model. Now let's take a closer look at some of the detailing on it. Moving down the body here, as you can see, Darth Vader's got some really nice textures going on. The little inner cape around the legs adds a lot of volume to the figure. And of course this is a very tall figure as well. His stature is pretty incredible actually when I first built it. Couldn't believe how tall this figure was. The all-black color scheme, or dominantly black color scheme, which of course is very accurate to the character. It's done up quite nicely here. Even the, you can see here, those pneumatic T-bars right in here, those are colored in black, which is abnormal, but done here it really doesn't detract anything from the look of the character. I really love the torso detailing we've got. Of course, these are printed parts over to the side and on here, which make the utility belt look very complete. Console pad and some texturing robes details along the regular torso part, as well as this pectoral armor we know and love. One of my favorite details is the chain attached onto Darth Vader's cape. That's done using these little peg studs on the bottom. Another level of detail that wasn't on the original. We have these shoulder parts that I showed you earlier, but they're attached a little unconventionally. As you can see, there's a little bit of a hinge down in there. And this just means that wherever Darth Vader's arms move, the shoulder pads will always rest back down for that broad-shouldered look. I really like the look of the back of the figure as well, really. We've got actually quite a lot of coverage with this cape, which makes the figure look polished and complete, even from the back angle. But the designers didn't skimp. We've got actually a little bit of torso armoring in back there as well, if you can see it. So all told, I think this figure is pretty well rounded. Some things I'm not crazy about. These hands are just a little bit small on the figure. As you can see, if we put this up near his head, it really becomes apparent that the hands just seem a little small. Same problem with the feet. These feet and hands, of course, were originally molded for much smaller characters, and I think it unfortunately doesn't really stand up well on a figure this large. One of the biggest differences between the old Darth Vader and this new one is, of course, this helmet, which, as you can probably tell, or you may have been told, is actually removable. This gives us inside now the scarred and aged face of Anakin Skywalker. Very cool detailing, done in that sort of chiseled style of the rest of the Lego Star Wars construction figures. There's some silver printing down here that gives him a really nice degree of detail, for lack of a better word. And you may also notice in the back of the neck here, this texturing is incredibly intricate. Really provides another level of authenticity to the character. But then, of course, the helmet just clicks right on. It's glistening, it's gleaming, it's wonderful. Another little design thing I'm not crazy about is just the gap between head and body, as you can see right in there. The mold, it doesn't go quite low as you'd like for coverage, even with the cape. It just makes Darth Vader sometimes look like a floating head in certain poses. But the head is great. The removable helmet is just awesome. In terms of play features, aside from the removable helmet and posability, this figure really only has one. We have a pretty standard lightsaber turning arm. If I turn this knob in the back, we use that Bionicle reboot system to turn the arm like this. It's got some pretty good clutch power, so I can really leave it wherever I set it. And Darth Vader's lightsaber arm will move around. It's fun. We've seen it before, but it works here. All told, I think this is a very solid construction figure. Definitely an improvement on the original. With the swinging arm and the removable helmet, the additional level of detail, the size, the secondary cape, all of these things make this Darth Vader much more of a standout than the original, and I think a truer homage to the character, better appearing. The only small things we have to deal with are those little hands and some proportional issues, but otherwise I think this is a very cool figure, great display piece, and I would recommend picking it up if you're a LEGO Star Wars fan. Well, that's all I have to say. If you're interested in viewing more, there's a full text and image review on our website, BZPower.com, where you can also find all sorts of LEGO news, discussion, personal creations, and more. Catch you next time.